have an encounter with Saint Mother Teresa. I was in Rome to be at a mass. I was a seminarian at the time, and St. John Paul II was praying mass. And it was, of course, in retrospect, there were 2 future canonized saints at mass, and I think it was because I was there. Just kidding. But it came communion time, and communion, if you've not been to St. Peter's, it's a bit of a wreck. People just kind of charge forward. There's no ushers, there's no lines, and it's the most violent encounter with the Eucharist you'll probably ever have. But I'm a big dude, and so I'm always conscious to not, and I just kind of did this and kept trying to shuffle forward. And all of a sudden, this spiky elbow hits me right here. And I'm pushed aside, and I hear, "Scusi!" And this 2-foot-tall nun got by me and got communion. That's how I met Mother Teresa. So my priest who was with me, he told us, if she becomes a saint, Joe, you're a 3rd-class relic. Mother Teresa, I don't know if you know this part. 16-year-old Albanian got off a train in India. All she knew is the Lord told her, go serve the poor. So she got on the train and she literally took it to the end of the line. And what she found there was, frankly, part of the fruit of the idea of karma. Namely, it's complicated, but at some point, you put the old and the sick on this train, and then at the last stop, they're simply dragged off and left there. It's their karma, so you don't take care of them. This is what they earned. This will help them in the future. It's very different than Christianity. But in the end, when she got off, she saw literally just bodies everywhere, dead and dying people. And so she rolled up those little sleeves and she went to war. And she didn't go to war by shouting or by starting a blog, She just gave of herself until there was nothing left. And we are all so much better for that. Dr. Peter Kraft said a remarkable thing one time. He said, the most violent time in human history, which was that stretch where you get World War I and World War II, where literally between the two of them, 14% of the world's population was killed in war. Think of that. That produced some of the greatest saints we've ever seen. St. John Paul II, Mother Teresa, we just go on and on, Maximilian Kolbe. I think for us, when we look at that day and age we live in, our trouble might seem to be violence, but this is truly, truly the least violent time in human history. And our enemy is comfort. Our enemy is yelling at each other about what color the bathroom was while the house is burning down. We fight about all the wrong things and we yell at all the wrong things because we're so gosh darn comfortable. And the slightest block compels us to quit. But that generation and every generation of saints that came before them is telling us that our comfort is the enemy, that we need to focus on the essentials of the faith, the pillars of the faith, not so much the symptoms of Catholicism, how we stand, what thing we do, all this, but on the very foundation, on the virus that is Jesus. To let him get inside of us and fundamentally alter us and heal us until every human we look at compels us to pour ourselves out for them like Christ did for us. May St. Mother Teresa's example and prayers spur us onto that which we were made to be, saints. Amen? Okay.